How's everybody doing today? Snowing out, a lot of ice outside. Content analysis here, bringing you some more information. So, Taxstone is finally heading to trial over killing of Troy Ave bodyguard banger. My condolences go to Tribe Gangster. Said he's going to be at the trial every day. He's going to follow through to see what happens. This is a real tricky situation here. Because you have a situation where Banger got shot supposedly in his chest and he died. And Troy Ave got shot in his leg. Taxstone wasn't seen shooting no gun, wasn't caught with a gun. Troy Ave says a hater, he don't want to say Taxstone name, he just used a hater. He said a hater came in, blocked his way, shot his friend, shot him, he wrestled a gun from him. So you have you have Troy Ave, who has been on Math Hoffa, and any interview he gets, and they bring up this, he tries to set up his self-defense. And it's like crazy when you look at the interviews that go down. So you have Troy Ave was almost killed before, and his life was spared by God. Sitting in his Maserati, and gunman walked up and opened fire on him and his girl, and he lived. And then he gets caught up in another situation. I don't know if that's after or before the situation, but Troy Ave is expected to testify at the trial to see what happens, declare his name to give himself a self-defense. But when you look at it, the videos all over the news, all over everywhere. Come on, man. This is the video. So you see Troy Ave come in, and this is where Troy Ave went wrong at. He fired that shot into a crowd. One more time. You see Taxstone running. Troy couldn't fire there. He looking around. He fires his shot into the crowd. He comes out. He's running. He couldn't shoot there. He looks. He takes a shot right into the crowd. That was a problem for him. So he says, he goes on Math Hoffa and he says that the hater came in, went down. It's like, he says, it's like you come in here, you bought to do work, and before you walk in the door, there's a hater blocking your way. And the hater killed your friend and tried to kill you. And everything is self-defense. I mean, New York is hard to get self-defense. They got like use of force. Like you could use force, but it's really no self-defense in New York. So he's going to testify at trial. He has to testify in the trial. He's charged with attempt murder, now they say they have two cooperating witnesses in the trial. They got Troy Ave, who says it was self-defense, and they got this guy, Malcolm Kenyon, a convicted drug dealer from Poughkeepsie, New York. Despite not being present for the shooting, Kenyon says Taxstone discussed the incident with him after the murder occurred. So you got one guy with this hearsay that's coming from Poughkeepsie that he wasn't there. He didn't see he didn't see what went down. But he's saying that while he's locked up, I guess Taxstone told him about the murder and possibly said he did it. So you got this guy gonna say Taxstone said he did it, and you got Troy Ave gonna say Taxstone did it. And he got self-defense, but you didn't shoot Taxstone. You shot into a crowd, which they say a girl was shot in her leg, supposedly Mano girl, and somebody else, and you fired that shot into the crowd. So how's that self-defense if you didn't shoot Taxstone? But there's a twist to this. Everybody talks about rats, who's ratting, who's like standing up to whatever. Taxstone pled guilty to federal gun charge, facing 10 years. The gun was found in the van that Troy Ave was on. However, they went and they found Taxstone DNA on the gun, so they charged him with the gun. And that's why Taxstone found himself in this situation. He pled guilty to the gun. He pled guilty to the gun, federal case for felon in possession of a firearm. So as y'all know, like when you're carrying a gun and you got felonies already, you playing with two kinds of court here. The state could keep it or the feds could come take you for it. If you already had a federal case, the feds gonna come get you for it. But we want to go and see something else here that I found on this thing. So now you have Taxstone. Taxstone, he been locked up for 6 years. He's still locked up, facing this trial. He's got to get his time for his gun. He pled guilty to the gun already. And he says, if you got caught on camera shooting and you got caught with guns in your car, don't lie on me to rid yourself of your mistakes. Remain these poems and hymns y'all recite and stop acting like dykes. So he's saying stand on what you stand on in your rap records. But this is what give me some thoughts. Like if Troy Ave takes the stand, then I would assume that Taxstone will need to take the stand to prove his innocence. So Troy Ave's going to take the stand and say that Taxstone, because he can't say hater. He can't say a hater. He cannot go in the courtroom and say, well, I was there to do my job and a hater came in. A hater came in. He can't go in the trial and say, a hater came in and that hater killed my friend and then shot me and it's self-defense. He can't say that. And I don't even really know how it's self-defense if you didn't shoot Taxstone. Self-defense would be like Taxstone shoot Banger, shoot you, you take the gun, you shoot Taxstone. You didn't shoot Taxstone. It cannot be self-defense if you ended up shooting somebody in that crowd that had nothing to do with nothing. They out there dancing, drinking, whatever they was doing when that bullet hit them. And there's no self-defense against that. They didn't talk to you. They didn't approach you with anything. Everything was on Taxstone. And you got Taxstone saying, hey, bro, don't lie on me. And you say, I ain't do it. Can Taxstone put his claim forth in court after having pled guilty to a gun charge with his DNA on it, saying that Troy Ave didn't have the gun? He had the gun, so we can't say that, but didn't bring the gun to the club because your DNA was on it. Troy Ave went and said he had the gun. Taxstone had that gun, man. I took that gun from him. They found his DNA on the clip. That means you take pull the clip out, his DNA is on it. Troy Ave DNA is not on the clip. It's on the outside of the gun. So how does Taxstone build a defense against Troy Ave telling on him? These are the situations where street guys find themselves into. Troy Ave been shot up. Somebody tried to kill him. Come to try to kill him again. End up killing Banger. Troy Ave end up living twice. Fires in the crowd. Says it's self-defense. And says Taxstone killed Banger. So how is this going to play out? How is this going to play out? And then, you know, I've been watching a whole lot of this stuff and looking at the way things going, and people been getting on Tribe Gangster, like saying, what? Yeah, you talking all this gangster stuff, and you this tough blood, and you this and you that. Why you ain't run down on nobody for Taxstone? At this point, Tribe Gangster hands are tied because you done went on YouTube, you done talked about this, you done went on all these interviews, you done have all these people bait you, telling you why you didn't do nothing. You're a known blood member. You did time in jail before. There's nothing you could do but go to jail if you do anything. Investigation coming right to you. If Taxstone, something happened to Taxstone or Taxstone family, or something happened to Troy Ave or Troy Ave family at this point in the game, it might just lead back to you. I don't know what y'all think, but I'm thinking that Troy Ave cannot take the stand and Taxstone just sit down and don't take the stand in his own defense. You know, like, this is a tricky situation. And then everybody's talking about, you know, the rappers, they go out there and they talk all this gangster stuff and there's killer stuff and no snitches stuff. But when the rabbit got the gun, you're going to run, Forrest, run right to the cops, try to clear yourself up and get yourself out of a situation. And this is a living example of that, because nobody's seen Taxstone shoot anybody. Nobody's seen Taxstone with the gun. Taxstone could say, yeah, I had the gun, and I pled guilty to that gun. I gave that gun to that man. That man shot his bodyguard trying to shoot somebody else, and then ran in the crowd. You know, I didn't know what he was going to do with the gun. Turn it on me, so I ran. They show him running, and that man's still shooting. So it looks kind of crazy for Troy Ave at this situation right here. And a lot of rappers, y'all should look at this, man. Like, make your decision, man. Like, am I going to be living these raps all the way through, all the way through? Or am I going to be doing this shit halfway for entertainment? And if it should come down on me, the rapper, getting caught up in the murder, I'm going to tell. If I didn't do it, I'm telling. I'm not losing my $1 million contract. I'm not losing my fame and fortune, which you're going to lose your fame because everybody's going to start talking about the rat and shit like 6ix9ine and Gunna, the biggest ones that's going out there right now. So I don't know what y'all think, man. Y'all let me know, man. Y'all hit them comments. Try to subscribe, man. Subscribe to my channel. You know, condolences go out to Taxstone family, Troy Ave gangster. You know, I know you, boy. And, you know, keep your head up, man. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people talk about street justice and keep it in the streets and you're supposed to respond. But once you start talking, you can't really respond because the feds is watching you too. They're watching interviews. And this is an active murder case that has not been concluded yet. So you cannot talk about nothing surrounding this case. Oh, I'm going to retaliate. I'm going to do this. Yeah, that nigga mama going to get it. This sister going to get it. It's on site with anybody. You can't do that. And they already been having you in interviews talking about the situation and why you didn't do nothing. Do what you do, bro. Show up in that court. Pray for the best of the outcome, I guess. You know what I mean? Justice for your brother. And life goes on. I would like to see the end of how this thing turned out because Troy Ave is saying self-defense. I don't know how it's self-defense if you didn't shoot Taxstone. And Taxstone is saying he got caught with that gun, man. I didn't shoot nobody. There's no video of him shooting nobody. But he got this guy that he got locked up with. That's why you got to be careful when you get locked up, man. Some people that's already locked up want to find a way to get out. And the easiest way to get out, or get your time reduced, and get some leniency from the DA, is murders. So if somebody wants to sit down and tell you about a murder they're involved in and you go to the court and you help convict them, chances are you're going to get a break in court. Everybody's snitching, man. When it comes down to that prison and its freedom, you'll be surprised who going to go to tell them DAs and them cops what's going on. Y'all have a nice day. Y'all tell me what y'all think.